This is John with the Primal Handyman channel, and my hive that swarmed the other day, I shook them in the box. They went back home. It was a false swarm. Well, they've swarmed again. So I'm going to go ahead and put them in another box and try. I'm going to put them back in the box and try one more time. What do I got to lose? Don't want to lose the bees if I can help it. So here we go. They're in the box now. They're a little perturbed this morning, but they're in the box. There are a few still up here on the branch. I'm going to try to shake them. The box is right below them. I'm just going to give them a good shake. I was going to come out and check that one hive one more time. I had a bad feeling I missed a swarm cell in there. And I was right. We'll put a foundation and one frame of drawn comb in the box. And I'll put a jar of syrup on them again and see what happens. It was in the 30s last night, and I'll bet they were out here all night because no bees are flying yet this morning. They were still clustered up. I just happened to come over here to check on some other stuff and noticed them. I'm going to go ahead, since this is a very close proximity, I'm going to set them right here in this spot. Try this. They came out of that hive, that far end hive. These are from the original colony. I can just tell by the way the bees look. The very first one I had. We'll see how many of my queens I've made. With this one, I guess you could call this a split, because it did split off one of my hives. This would make 13. Started the season with 6. This will be 13. I'm gonna put a pollen patty on them and some syrup so they'll start drawing comb. Drawn comb is something as precious that I really need. I don't have enough for the bees that I have, so I need more drawn comb to keep doing split. Well, we'll see how it goes. I've got these bees in here. I've got some syrup on them. I'm going to go ahead. I know this is probably crazy. I've got a small nectar flow going on, not a big nectar flow. So I'm going to go ahead and mix up some more syrup and give all the bees another shot of syrup and try to push them to make more swarm cells and keep the queen laying at full speed. Maybe I can split some more. The way I look at it, sugar is cheaper than buying bees. Okay, it's been a few minutes. Let's go ahead and take a quick look and see if they've populated the frames. And once they've populated the frames pretty heavily, I think they'll go ahead and stay. I'm not a beekeeping expert, as I've stated before, but I know a little bit. I flooded the frames with some just took the jar and just splattered sugar water all over the frames, so it'd give them incentive. They're blessed with syrup. There's a frame of drawn comb for the queen to start laying on. They'll get pollen patty here in a little while. I've pulled them out of the freezer to thaw. And so they should stay in the box, hopefully, and become a new colony. We'll find out. Well, it appears they've populated the combs up on the frames, and so hopefully they're going to stay this time. The last time they were a false swarm. I'll put some footage of that up. They landed in the tree next to this tree, and so hopefully this time the queen's there and they stay. The last time they went back home, put them in the box, and I kept an eye all in the area out here, and I didn't see anything else go on. I didn't see them fly away like in a mass group. They were in the box, and then they kind of found their way back to that first box over here. I just looked in there, and there's not near as many bees. That was the very first hive ever here, and turned it into 4 hives. So if they came from that box, and I'm pretty confident they did, that's 5, possibly 5 new colonies from that box this season. Hard to believe. And we're only in mid-May, mid to late May. Today's the 21st. This is the strongest box, and that's the very first colony that I caught over in Ozark, Missouri 3 years ago now, 3 springs ago. And if you look at some of my earlier videos, there were just a few beehives. Now they're just kind of all over the place out here, and there's one over here. Now, some of those are splits with a queen cell, so not necessarily will that queen come back mated. I don't expect this many. I have a feeling by early next month, a couple of these I'll combine them back and start over again. Hit the reset button. And maybe by then, I'll be ready to start grafting and rearing some queens. Yeah, this one and this hive and this hive are the ones I'm going to graft the queens out of. These are the most, to me, these hives right here are the kindest, easiest to deal with hives as far as gentleness, and they don't seem to have a swarmy way about them. That one over there is a very gentle hive too in the very back, but I split it up the other day because it had swarm cells in it, and I turned it into 3 hives, 3 colonies. So I'll keep posting videos and show how I'm doing. Actually, this time next year, that's the true test of how good you are at managing the bees. Will they make it through the summer? That's not so hard. Will they get through the Missouri winter? That can be much harder on the poor old bees. We'll see if the bees accept the box. I would like to end this video with some shots of the bee yard as it is now. So in future videos, when I look back, I'll be able to see if I grew or if I stayed the same or if I lost some hives or colonies, whichever you want to call them. But it's a beautiful, cool morning out here. It's probably in the low 40s. It's really nice. Spring here in the Ozarks is a wonderful time. It'll be like this until early June, and then it'll be hot. But that's okay. That's just a couple of months and it'll be over and we move forward with something else. It'll be time to start the garden. Here's a couple shots of the bee yard and my crazy bees. Thank you for watching. Well, if you stuck with me to this point, thank you.